Hello everyone, my name is Roshan and I'm back to talk about a book. It's been so long since I've talked about a book here on my channel that it feels like I don't read anymore. I completed this book almost a month back, but nowadays I'm creating more content regarding, conversational videos. I've got a kind of audience who likes to listen to me talk and my conversational videos. So I was procrastinating, I would say, because I haven't been reading much. Like I recently started reading William Shakespeare, which is quite difficult, so it will take some time, but I'm really enjoying the process. But today I'm talking about A Thousand Splendid Suns. Why did I decide to read it? Because it was because of the author. The first book I read from him was The Kite Runner, and it really moved me in a manner that no book had ever done that before. Like literally plain text had never made me cry like I was crying reading that book. And so I decided to read this one. I like to go completely blind whenever I'm engaging in anything. Of course, we have limited time, so I make sure that I'm reading something which I'm familiar with. Familiar in the sense that I loved the work of Khalid Hosseini in his first book, so I decided to read it. And boy, it was as heartbreaking as the first one, The Kite Runner. And now I kind of get why Khalid Hosseini is so popular among Indian readers, because it's not just because of his writing style but because of the emotions he is able to evoke within readers. Still, the people who don't know who Khalid Hosseini is, let me tell you about him. Khalid Hosseini is an American born Afghanistan who writes stories of war of Afghanistan in a fictional manner. He adds the element of fiction, and while you are reading work of it, it feels like you are reading a mystery novel. You think that, let me explain what I want to say. Like, not a mystery novel, but the thing is, whoever he is introducing in the story, there is a kind of role for him. Like at the end of the story, you will be able to connect the dots that why it had happened earlier and why this character was introduced in this manner. So his books are really page turner. Like you can't stop reading it. And of course, the element he brings up, like the themes are very heavy. I would say the themes are very heavy, but it is written in a manner that you can't stop reading it. Both of his works, like The Kite Runner and Thousand Splendid Suns, I've read and have cried like a baby. This is another story similar to The Kite Runner, but like a struggle of common people in the war. But this is more women centric. The two main characters of the book are Mariam and Laila, and this story is told by their point of view. Like the book is divided into different chapters. The first part of the book is narrated mostly by Mariam, who is a 15-year-old kid who is harami, bastard. She has her mother is taking care of her and they live, outcast of the city. But Mariam is like like every child, she is very innocent. She wants to know why she is living out. Like she knows who her father is, and she is curious and wants to know why her father treats her like that. So the story continues. Mariam is now married, like she is forced to marry, and later on the story, Laila is introduced. Laila is completely opposite of what Mariam is. She is young, like Mariam is now in her 30s and Laila is 15 or 16. She is educated. She is not as orthodox as Mariam. But here comes the magic of Khalid Hosseini. The way he combines like every element of our human nature. You know, the condition of, I think we all are familiar at right now we all are familiar what's happening in Afghanistan, the war, Taliban, and how it affects women, how women and children are the one who has to suffer most because of them. I wanted to talk about something which I have found, similarity in our Indian culture and Afghani culture, especially among Muslim communities. I hope nobody is going to misinterpret what I'm going to say, especially in terms of, that orthodox mindset. Now things are changing. I completely agree that things are now changing, but there was a time, even it is happening still in our country, and I have seen with my own eyes that women are treated in a manner like they are a thing to be earned and a thing to be protected. We need to educate, like everyone, not just women, not just men. We have to educate everyone, and we have to treat religion in a manner that nobody, like religious gurus, should not influence in a manner that they take control of our life. Because I want to talk about Mariam. She was very religious person, and religion saved her. Religion saved her in a manner that no matter what happened in her life, she was always hopeful that there was a God and it was going to be fine. But in case of Laila, she was educated, but because of words, she was helpless. Nothing could help her. So the way Khalid Hosseini contrasts both of the characters is something which I think everybody should read. You know why I was giving the example of our Indian community? Because I think the lack of education and irrational thoughts are still making us follow that orthodox path. I will give one example of my mother. Recently, a very close member of my family passed away, and my mother was the one who was affected most by it. For a whole month, she couldn't function properly. I was really worried, and I thought that with time, she will be able to, overcome that trauma. But I started getting worried once it crossed the day. It crossed second week. She wasn't eating properly. She was doing nothing but laying on her bed. But then I started to see a pattern in her routine. Like she was still laying in her bed, but at the same time she was doing her routine task, like offering namaz 5 times. So I think in that manner religion helped her and is still helping her to get over that trauma. Of course, it's gonna take more time to heal whatever has affected her. But the thing is that in this manner, I think religion helps, especially people like my mother, especially people like my mother. But I don't want anybody, like I don't want religious guru to have that control over our lives and let influence our thoughts. I want everybody to have that 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 power of education with whom they can decide what they really want to do. In last podcast with my friend, I discussed about that how education is meant to provide you the meaning of your life, and in a manner it will provide you. But the thing is that the way our education system is structured, we can't help and add the element of religion too in that. But I hope with time we will be able to combine both of it in a manner that religion is not going to overpower our rational thinking. I think I spoke a lot about religion, but this story completely broke me. And like I have talked about it before, that how when it comes to war, we are completely helpless. What we can do, but the thing is that stories like this makes me realize that how privileged we are in a manner that we don't have to go through what other people are going through. So we should be thankful. If I have to take a highlight of it, I would say religion was one thing, because I'm not a religious person. Why I'm emphasizing religion? Because character like Mariam or my mother, who takes help of religion to go through their trauma, is something I will give credit to religion. But apart from it, I don't want anybody to let religion overpower their lives. So, if you want to read something which will move you beyond your imagination, which will make you feel something which you haven't felt in a while, I highly recommend to read A Thousand Splendid Suns and even The Kite Runner. If you haven't checked my last review of The Kite Runner, please check it. And I have some more plans to talk about books, movies, and along with that, language learning. So, whoever is new to my channel, thank you for subscribing, and I hope you like this video. And yeah, I have some more ideas.